Alright, strategic to tactical here with you for the tactical setups going into the week of 22 September. I'm just, before I go through this upcoming week's tactical setups, I will briefly go over some that I went over last week and how they worked out. YELP was one that on the short side. Again, I was looking for had a pretty nice setup here. Let's zoom this in. Basically right here. So I was really looking for, break below this 80s, and I even said, hey, you know what? I'll even throw out, because it has really been tightening. If it breaks this a little bit of a short-term downtrend, maybe that's something that you could buy, I guess. But I was really leaning on the 80s, and Monday came in and really flushed through those 80s nicely, right into the mid 70s. So that was a real nice one-day trade. And then even the next day, it really didn't do much of a rally. I mean, if you look at the Nasdaq actually rallied, reversed pretty hard the following day, and actually broke. If you compare this to the Nasdaq, it actually broke back above this little down trend that the Nasdaq has had. But YELP has basically just been floundering around here. So even actually took out the low, Tuesday's low on Friday before a little afternoon reversal back above. So YELP continues to be very weak. Again, it'll be something, if you're still short this, you can lean on these highs right here around 77.5. Definitely don't want to see that, at least if you're shorter term short in this, getting above 77.5. Next level would be that 80. After that, if it trades back above 80, then basically this breakdown below 80 becomes past history, if you will. But we'll see. There's a potential chance that, especially if the market breaks Friday's low, that this now can make another leg lower and basically trade back into this range in here, this $70 range, which seemed like it did a lot of work in there back in July and August. So that would be a next line in the sand down around 70 area. So that's done pretty well. There was some others that AEGR, I was on the long side. So yeah, this worked out for about a day and a half. Definitely had a nice level here that it took out above the 33.25 area. It has been definitely been a weak stock overall for quite some time here, but it looked like maybe it had a chance now to change that, and it did for broke above here quite nicely, closed above. Next day, kind of, this is where it started to be like, all right, well, what's happening? They made a punch higher, but closed kind of shitty. So again, the level to be really watching was the low on that day, which was 33.5, and then they beat it back below, and then beat it back below even the breakout level. So that was kind of harsh. So if you still long that, this is a day to take notice, no question. Trading back below that range, definitely don't want it to go any lower than Friday's low. Again, if you depend on your time frame, right? So if you were much shorter term, and there were definitely some intraday levels here to get out. But if but on a a little bit of a higher time frame, definitely don't want to see this take out Friday's low of 32.75 roughly. That's about, again, about half a point below the breakout level. So I'm out of it. So I got out of it on Friday when it broke below 34. I think there was a level here on the because it held up quite well actually in the morning, and then as the indices started to get beat they just came for this one as well. So let's see here. PNRA was another one that I had on a list last week, and it actually was a real nice breakout here above these 156 and change, just a breakout above 156, real nice breakout. Never looked back on that day, broke out, closed real well. Had a little bit of a, I don't think that was a real trade down here, the 157. I want to say that that was some bogus prints on the on the open. I don't think it traded below 158.5 on this day, so that tail is bogus. So it traded real well and then into Friday it got a little again, like the rest of the market, kind of reversed itself. So I still hold a small bit of this one. What else did I have here? Oh yeah, MNK was another one that actually had a nice little level. Unfortunately, this was not the cleanest breakout. It's just kind of again, one of these meat grinder breakouts that we've really been having more of lately. So the real level here was around 87.25, and we broke above on this day here. So that was Wednesday, and it just kind of broke above. They basically closed right at the level, just kind of sideways, and then the next day, I guess it could have been worse. It could have been a real, broke back above, above, then really hit lower, and then gone higher. So I was able to stay long most of this throughout this. So it kind of stayed above that level, just barely for that day and a half. But the key was it never really, you usually open near the low of the day. Like this day, it opened right on near the low of the day, made that low print right off the open, and then never violated it. So, which was kind of nice. And then Friday, it gapped up and really didn't do much. Right, it tried to go, and then it came back in. Market was weak, so we'll see. It's something that I'll keep a tight leash on going into tomorrow. Like the rest of the market, Friday's low should, if this is really any good, should never be. We should never get below that 88 area, and we should make another run higher. But we'll see. The market's I just saw the AEGR trade where it stays above the level, and then it becomes a false breakout. Something to keep an eye out for into next week. This is a false breakout. This is one that was actually quite frustrating here. OLED, definitely had a little level here above these 36.60, and it just peaked above, and it's never really could never close above it, and so it was a little bit of a definitely little frustrating. Yeah, I know on Friday when it got below Thursday's low, it was like, all right, I'm done with this, and then it definitely closed a lot worse. So yeah, this is something now that I think there's more of a bearish case to it than a bullish case. So yeah, I think we'll be more than likely be trading back down to these lows before they try get back to these highs. So something to watch out for. Let's see some other ones that ABT. It was this actually was a nice little breakout. Abbott Labs above 43, 10ish, then it reversed on Friday. So again, if you're still long this, definitely don't want to see it get below 43.5 level, which kind of corresponds with this high right here. So yeah, if this is any good, this shouldn't really take out Friday's low and make another run at these 44s. That whole drug complex definitely had a little bit of strength going into it. Bristol Myers won. Now it's closed above these 51.5, or right around 51.5. So we'll see if that can get any momentum. The problem with that is it's had, after this dip below 50, it's a pretty good run here, 4-day run. So this one might be kind of exhausted and really needs to prove itself. Really needs to prove itself holding above 51. Yeah, so I'm not too sure if that's going to happen. This one's definitely been a bit of a whipsaw and not the strongest in the drug space. So, but that's those are the major. Again, there wasn't too much going on last week. So let's go into this upcoming week here. Again, I don't see really that much that's going on. Well, let's take a look at BABA. All right, you know what? Let's not take a look at BABA. It's got 1 day on it, but we can look at it at least on the 10-minute. This is BABA on the 10-minute. So, it opened. Had a nice run up the first, I don't know, 10 minutes. Basically opened 92.70, made a run almost to 100, and then failed at that 99 level, and then got beat pretty hard. Took out the opening low and stabilized at roughly at $90 roughly, and then had a little bit of a recovery. So going into the week again, it's one of those things that the high of the day and the low of the day are the two big. That's the big levels going into this week. So if it can trade above 100, that might be a nice tactical buy level. If it trades below 90, it'd be a tactical short level. Again, I'm pretty sure it's a tough stock to short. So, but if you can get shares, that would, if we can get trade back below 90, it might be the something to try to get short if you can get shares. And again, that 100 level, I'd say, is the next big level there. So those are the two levels. Again, looking at going into the week in BABA that you might want to trade against. So that's all I got on that. Let's see here if on these other potentially other setups. Zulily, something had a little level back in here, bought against, but again, it's been kind of a chop shop. Has been a very weak stock for quite some time here, but another level presented itself above 38. So if this thing gets above 38, next level would be, I'd say, 40. So so it has been making higher highs, higher lows here since it really got back above these moving averages and above this 35 area. So continues to sort of grind higher. I might be take another shot, like I said, above 38. Something I'll be keeping an eye on. Palo Alto Networks has had a really strong breakout here. It's been sort of flagging, so it's something to keep an eye on if they take out, especially if we get some more strength. And I mean, you can take a shot at it if it gets above Friday's high, to be honest. Anticipating that next level here is pretty close. You definitely want to see that or get above around 101-ish here. But something to have on your radar. BITA, been a favorite for quite some time. Has definitely had a little bit of a multi-week consolidation lower. But maybe they come back for this thing at some point, and there's definitely a level here above 86.5, I'd say. If it can get back, can break back above this, maybe then it will challenge these 90s, and maybe try to go for another leg higher here. So that's another one I'll be keeping on the radar. And again, I really don't have too much right now going into the week. CLVS, which is Clovis Oncology. This has been sort of going sideways. This was on my radar to be buying it. Never really got it. Never broke that level. so didn't buy it. But now it sort of seems like it might be getting weak here. So either way, again, this is, I would say, it's a buy above 46.5 and a short below 43 and 43.30ish. And we'll, so that's something you could take a shot at either way. Breaks below, take a shot going short. Again, with the anticipation that it should, catch some momentum on the downside. And kind of go. Same thing if it takes out the highs. Really, we're looking for a bit of a volatility extension either way. So something to also keep on the radar. And really, the other one here is Sina, which has really been in the doghouse and has another level to get short below 44. 30ish. Again, not the greatest trading stock though, so if they take this level out lower, you definitely want to see some continuation. Don't want to see it peak back below and then snap back up. It's had a tendency to do that on a to take out a level and then go right back in your face. So you might want to have quick feet with this one, but definitely a level that potentially gets taken out may show some momentum potentially on the sell side if they take that out. Monster really been had this great big gap up, and now it may be in a I'd say it has been in a multi-week, if not now, month and a half, or just over a month, just sort of mess. It's holding higher levels, so if you're long it, it's not. I would say it's any reason to get short or sell, but here's a level though, short-term level around 89. If it gets below, then we could be testing these. We'll be testing these lows next, roughly 86, and then maybe lower. So something, maybe take a shot at getting short below 89. Or it just continues to consolidate, and at some point there'll be a level to be buying, above this. This sort of looks like a mini Head and Shoulders to me. Here's your left shoulder, head, and your right shoulder. So really draw a line right here. If they get back below the 89, it should be a quick trade down to 86 area. Kind of makes sense. So something to watch. And that's it for the so far this week. I don't really have much else. So kind of tells me that market will continue in this sort of whippy area. I just don't see any real great movements one way or the other. I could be wrong, but here's some stocks to maybe take advantage either way, at least early in the week. Thanks for watching.